Hey everybody, you know how this works. We're live, so it must mean we have to rearrange cameras. I have joined these folks to continue this stream, but I'm going to let David take charge as he's been. Let me just get it so we can actually see people's faces, though.
Adult supervision, basically.
I am not here for adult supervision. Stop it.
We all had to get
Like you're wrong. Here's the correct one.
the fucking kid leashes with the bungee cord on the back of them, so Mark can yank us back.
You know, I am absolutely positive that your parents would have had an easier time with you if you had one, if they had those back then.
Yeah, I'd have a little less Dane damage, but
Drain bramage?
yeah, pretty much.
Less drain bramage?
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm going to probably turn the names off, though, because you are not these characters.
I was like, please
I
don't
am.
make
Yeah,
it.
I'll just be fucking John.
Archie.
you are John, that's true.
I'm not that. I'm not that cool to be Archie.
I would
You're
like
not
to be
that cool
Archie.
to be Archie? You're not that hearty to be
No.
Archie, like heart-shaped hearts.
Oh, okay.
Not like hardy,
I'm going to
like...
cry in the corner now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, now you're getting Archie down.
So, fun fact, speaking of Hardy, John will break 100 hit points while under the effective aid at 2nd level now.
Oh,
Could be
God.
great.
Oh, God.
What's 100 hit points?
Still at 80.
I wouldn't know.
Got that +4
You
con
guys
mod
are
on
much
cleric.
lower level than them.
Even so, like when I'm higher level, like I've only ever really played casters, so like I never get like as soon as I
I'm a
hit
full
triple
caster,
digits. What?
basically.
You're a cleric.
Yeah, they're clerics. I don't want to hear it.
It's fair.
Well,
I'm not officially.
although we have another cleric in another party, and they're never going to hit 100 hit points.
Yeah,
the
we
rate
should just
they're
calculate John's hit points in Leopold's. I'm like 3.2 Leopold's.
Wait, do we have
going. 3.2 Leopolds.
do we have all 4 clerics here?
I think we do.
3.21 Leopolds.
I am going to take the tough feat at level 8 so that I will actually have decent HP.
So I'm the cleric, Nora's the cleric, David's the cleric. Who's the last one?
Merrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merrick's a cleric now.
Tom.
And John,
Not
for
not
preacher.
not absolutely officially, yeah,
Preacher.
but getting there.
Preacher. Preacher. is a cleric.
Preacher is a cleric.
And Ka.
And Car.
True. Cleric
Just
gang
wait,
rise
till I
up.
just wait till I get to level 3. I can destroy Talus's dog whenever it annoys me.
Do not, I swear.
So fun fact.
You're
The-
supposed to do that.
During the crossover stream, Nora and I both actively contemplated if Theo pissed us off, if we were both just going to start on our action using destroy undead to nuke all of the skeletons off the board to make life easier for Mark.
Fortunately, most of his skeletons were out supporting the other Dars team on the streets, so they weren't with us. He had Boney, and Boney did a really good job because Boney did manage to take down a werewolf again. So.
He did about twice as much as John. I did nothing that whole combat. I stood around and cast fucking Dispel Curse.
The ridiculous thing is, so far in Help Wanted, the skeletons have probably killed more things than Marek, and it's really getting on my nerves now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but Marek has like saved members of the party's lives several times over, so he's doing a really good job being a cleric.
Yeah, like think about it. Like Luna, what did you even cast in the crossover stream? On your first turn, you cast Remove Curse. On your second turn, you cast Remove Curse. On your third turn, you also cast Remove Curse.
3 remove curse, spiritual weapon, and spells, and great restoration at the end.
I'm just going to say, the extra casting of remove curses that you guys were throwing into the ritual, had you not been doing that, the combat would have lasted like 4 more rounds, which would have meant we would have been playing until like 9 o'clock at night Eastern time, at least.
It was a good call.
So, you guys are also getting a sneak preview of the new layout for the Dance Macabre, which will start on Wednesday. if you are
Yeah.
watching. So all the streams have this layout treatment now. So they're going to have a slideshow with facts on the characters and the story arc. It's going to have the game logo a little bit more, front and center for people to see, which people will be able to tell that the Dark and Hungry God logo has like actual fungus in the logo, because I don't think that you could see that normally. But so today on Nights After Dark, not only are you getting the recaps, but you're also getting to see a copy of the new updated format for the games going forward.
Do we get any authorial control over what facts are stated about our character? Because I would love for Angus's to include the quote from Monkey Island 2, where it's all the crimes Guybrush Threepwood is wanted for. That include disguising himself as a woman to evade capture.
I have the initial facts already put out there, but if everybody wants to submit facts for their characters to add to it, I am more than happy to take those, and I will update it as we go.
I just want to make
I
an
cannot
actual
wait to see what
complaint.
Maximilian's facts are.
I want to make an actual complaint. I'm just disappointed I don't get to sit between Emmy and Dio in the real game, because they helped fix this a little bit. So
You're not in a game with Emmy with either of them. With either of them.
X is also Pat. I realize you are in both of like my favorite streams. Like you're in my comfort, and then you're in Dan, who is in like my emotionally to destroy me.
I know. I say this all the effing time, but like, you want to try playing in both of them? I get emotional whiplash, like so bad. I go from Tuesday riding on a fucking high to I will text Mark at fucking like 1 o'clock on Wednesday. I'll be like, I don't know, and I will literally just send him, I don't know, man. That's it.
Let me tell you something, guys. On the night before the crossover stream, okay? The night before the crossover stream, it is like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I get a text from Pat saying, I am so fucking nervous I can't sleep. I have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. I have so many things that I can do, and I can only choose to do one of them. I have to say that you effectively did all three.
Nice.
You fought in combat, you cast a couple of remove curses, and
all I did was cast remove curse. I gave every remove curse that I could give.
You were still using your spiritual weapon to beat the shit out of things, and you cast Maximilian's Whipblade at least 2 rounds in that combat, and there were only 4 or 5 rounds of combat.
It's true.
And there were so many people. Pat's like, I didn't do too much. Meanwhile, he did like so much in just like a couple of turns. He's just like, but he's like, I didn't do too much.
My only bitch about the whole thing, right? Fucking Vasir. Like, Alex.
Wait.
Why were you stunning the werewolves that were stuck in the web? Stun shit that's not in the web. You could have stunned anything, and you're stunning things that are already in difficult terrain, restrained, and in plant growth. Go fight something else.
Speaking of the plant growth,
Wait. First thing, you don't talk about the sea like that.
Here we go.
Oh, God.
okay, but speaking of the plant
getting
growth,
married.
can I just give a shout out to like how much thought and attention and effort goes on with both Pat and Scarlett in terms of giving us the feels for the Andergris ship? Because I got contacted outside of the game as the other cleric of Thormodin in Oradin for the question of like, what flowers do you think would be associated with Thormodin? Because Lark wanted to have the plant growth reflect her growing feelings for John when she touches them. And it was just like, I'm really glad I used to like botany when I was studying biology so I can help with this.
Guys, I have to say, the amount of thought that goes in to a lot of the character choices from everybody across multiple streams is incredible. You all constantly you all constantly credit me with how good the games are, and I have to say this, and this is not me being like shifting the focus or being humble. Legitimately, the amount of time and effort and thought about the details that go into your characters and your character choices and the way that you enact those things in the games is what brings those characters to life and makes the games as good as they are. I often am just playing off of the choices that all of you are making in order to make your characters shine, and that makes the games as good as they are. Because if I had a bunch of players who didn't care about the game, or didn't care about the plot hooks, or didn't care about the arcs for their characters, or didn't care about the little details like what flowers show up when they cast plant growth, or who the individual people are that are a part of their past lives from their phantom subclass, or how the curse that's affecting their character's town also is affecting their character, so that they are losing dexterity points every level, like, how we're going to explain the idea that my character is suddenly a grave cleric of Thondra in the next session, and have this incredible dream sequence written out in the RP chat. If I didn't have people who cared enough about their characters and the games to put that effort in, or didn't look into all the things... David, you know the name of every NPC in Oregon. There are NPCs that I forget the names of, and you're like, oh yeah, that's this person. Like, that's the stuff that make the games so good, is the fact that I have dedicated players who are interested in building the world, interested in building their stories.
I agree, but I also disagree a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this earlier. Like, the only reason that the playoff between Lumiere, John, and Oliver works is because not only do I have very well formed notions of who John is, you have very well formed notions of who Lumiere is. You have very well formed notions of who Oliver is, right? Like,
I'm still working on Oliver, but I'll take it.
but like, you can act at somebody, right? And if they don't know what they're supposed to be acting like, it doesn't work. So,
Mark, you have messages in chat.
I do. Alex says it takes a good DM to present those opportunities to the players, though. I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying that that's not true. I know that that me facilitating your ability to do that, it goes a long way in making that true. I believe it. I agree with you. And Dark Mist Gaming, hi, welcome. I don't know that we've seen you here before, so big hello to you. Thanks for joining us today. It's always two ways. The DM has to make the environment worth exploring, and the players need to have the enthusiasm to get out there and explore those details. Can't have one without the other. Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. There's not a thing that is... again, I wasn't trying to say... Like, I wasn't trying to play the humble card, oh, it's not you, it's not me, it's you guys, like, you guys do everything, like... But I couldn't be as good a DM as I am without good players. Like, I can put all of my effort into DMing, and if I have players who don't engage with me or the story or their characters and just want to run in and kill monsters and steal treasure, and that be the end of the day, like, we might as well be playing a board game, because it doesn't matter how good of a DM I am, like, it's just going to be taking turns and rolling dice.
Yeah, I mean, something I have spoken with a couple different people of the community this week, and I want to bring up. Yeah, this is a thing, right? Like, this XSplit is a thing. It's still on sale. I checked this morning. If you don't have it, it's $20. If you want to take your RP game to the next level, go check it out. It's on Popular Science on a bunch of different websites. But I want to throw a huge shout out to Dio, who is sitting directly above me, but also sitting directly to this side of me. Like, put on a cheesy costume. This is actually the first video conference I've shown up to that I'm not in character, right? Like, I'm not in, like, weeks at this point. I mean, to the point of, I've kind of put this in the Twitch or in the Discord or whatever. I went out and bought the ring that Lark gave to John to wear on stream for the Dance Macabre, right? Like
Stop it. It's so cute.
total cost to me about $9. Like you don't have to go, and it's like, okay, I made a point in one of the RP channels, like it is very clearly a woman's ring. Like it is not a man's ring in the slightest. But yeah.
Do you need a welding torch to get that off your finger now? Like that looks like it's on there pretty good.
So here's the thing: if I would actually wear it on my actual ring finger, it fits perfect. But the problem is it Lark wears it on her index finger, right? Which means that it's the fattest finger on my effing hand. So it's come on!
I have to say,
Nor's calling Lundy out in chat. Nor's calling Lundy out in chat right now. Oh God.
Not wearing a costume, but I just had to let my party what I thought of them after meeting the demon.
They're wearing the shirt. Like it's
So this is how deep our sessions get, right? I get a fucking text from Nor, okay? This guy, as a heads up. I get a text from this guy, right? And he just says, I loved your I told you so moment. And I was like, what? He's like, exactly what you said was going to happen is exactly what happened. I was like, I know, of course it was. I knew it was going to be.
With what? With what? Wait, what?
Everything. I'm the guy with a fucking 6-page conspiracy document. Okay, like
okay. What in particular did you predict that? Were you talking about Nor? What in particular were you talking about?
During the stream when you screamed out, "I fucking told you so!" When I don't exactly remember right now. I can check it out later. But it was on yesterday.
Oh, I remember the incident. The old person chained to a rock inside the.
What could possibly
let's
go
just
wrong?
break the magical seal.
Just like real life, breaking the seal's a crime that you're going to pay for over and over again. That's a beer joke.
So Dark Mist, we have 6 campaigns in the world of Oridon. It is my homebrew setting. I'm the dungeon master, Mark, the Mark Knight. Our 6 campaigns each have between 5 and 6 players. All of the different campaigns again take place in the same world concurrently. This Saturday we had a big crossover event with 2 of the parties, and there were 10 players in one game.
Yeah.
If you go back and check out the VOD, just skip through it, check out the highlights. It's a 5-hour stream and it's the second part. It's a 6-hour stream and it's part 2 of the crossover event. It's huge, but there are some pretty awesome moments considering that we had literally 5.5 hours of combat that yesterday. So it was, and we could have gone longer. If I knew that I was going to be like, I stepped away from the computer, and when I thought about trying to pick up the PM game, and like by the time we got off of our little post-game chat, it was already 6:25, and if I had realized then, like, I went grabbed some food, and I was like, oh god, my brain has turned off, and I can't get it to turn back on in the next 20 minutes, and I have to run another game at 7. If I had known I was going to skip out on the Saturday game, I would have let the RP go on for a little longer and wouldn't have rushed it closed. But, Dark Mist, we have a Discord server you can check out where we have some role-playing going on there as well as a bunch of other stuff going on.
It's just a great community as a heads up.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Including an art contest that's currently going on.
We do have an art contest going on. We do.
Bun, some of the art's amazing.
Bun, you should be getting your submission going, right, for tonight for the art contest? I hope.
Sharp-eyed.
Sharp-eyed. Right? Yeah, Sharp-eyed is the contest.
Okay, so Dio made art of Sharp-eyed that has not been posted yet.
Oh, yeah.
The cute one that should actually be made into a toy.
No, I much prefer the other one that she posted
Leo, I'm
I-
very curious.
That includes articles of clothing from the 90s.
I have to say I'm very partial to Brad's sharp-eyed drawing, which was amazing. The sharp-eyed fighting the aboleth.
Yeah.
What we need, though, Pat, we need somebody to actually fully draw out the icon. Where in Oregon is Sharp-Eyed San Diego?
Oh God. Hey, since we've switched to Foundry, I don't think I've forgotten Sharp-Eyed at all.
Damn. There you go.
Yeah,
You ruined our joke about where's Sharp-Eyed,
I know.
but that is fine.
Is he Bun? Is he getting? Is he also getting his wisdom teeth out? Are you guys like gonna be wisdom toothless boyfriend and boyfriend? you gonna be a pair of temporary invalids, just kind of like sipping on melted ice cream for a week.
I'd say just be on drugs together.
Here's a question, though, right? Did they have dentists in the Feywild? Did Andal have his wisdom teeth removed?
Do you
Is that
need
why he is
dentists
the
in
way
the
he
Fey?
is?
Like, do you need dentists? Like, and yes, tooth fairies. Tooth fairies live in the Feywild.
Somewhere is just an elf that's screaming in impotent rage. Herbie.
I have to say, for the Sharp-Eyed contest, I actually asked my other half to draw and paint something. You saw his efforts.
I do like the garden
He
hose.
told me he could draw. Although he has actually done some paintings recently, which look really nice. If we just finish them off.
Well, we'd
So
be
I'm entering the competition by proxy.
Yeah, that's fine. Anybody can enter. We don't care.
And you won some dice last frickin' stream.
Yeah,
right?
you
That was
did.
your-
I know it did.
I gotta get that
Can't
to you.
believe
I gotta
that.
get that to you. I gotta figure out how to ship things to Scotland.
Scotland.
On the subject of shipping,
Scotland.
Dio, take it away with the Darts Macabre ship list.
Is it the yeah. Sorry.
Just get the obvious one out of the way.
Well, that's the canon one, basically, is Lark and John. We also have NPCs, Lord
You ain't seen nothing yet. Regarding Lark and John, you have seen nothing yet.
Lord Arthur and Lady Via and
Yeah.
Park's parents. And then there's the non-canon ones,
Oh no, there's one more canon one. There's one more canon one.
Archie and Susan.
Yeah, Archie and Susan. That's real.
Yeah.
Those are two. Those are
the-
two of my sanctioned. I've been giving away the sanctioned. The
mark of approval ships.
ships.
Yes.
Archie and
So-
Susan made the cut.
Yeah, so we have the Archie and the Duke, Archie and Realtor and Theo,
Realtor and
John and
everyone.
Real tar.
John and Lumiere, Maximilian's invoke duplicity.
Maximilian and Maximilian's
Maximilian's
portrait.
invoked duplicity. Yeah.
Yes. Angelica and Theo, the Marquise Reynald Rowan and Queen Evelyn.
I don't back that.
I don't back that.
Visir ships them.
Ollie and Angelica. And
Aramil and Angelica. I mean, let's just get that one out of the
well,
way.
no, I already did that one for the
For Tuesday. Yeah.
Yes. And I think Michael and the Duke.
No, Count Stradvan Zarevich and Michael. The only person they could love more than their other is themselves.
That's it.
Speaking of art, Mark, before I forget, I think you forgot something, but I understand. I will not remind you what I'm talking about. I'll just let you figure
I
that
am
out.
horrified to wonder what is going on in Arc that he forgot about.
Arc and I
Art.
didn't say art. Art.
Art.
I don't know, but I am super curious to what.
I think. Oh no! Look. Oh, I don't have Foundry up. I did. I updated the Ravenreach. I did.
Yeah,
It's there.
Speaking of Ravenreach art, a bunch of people in the Dance Macabre finally got official art. Angelica, Lord Arthur, Lady Bia. They actually got official real art. Lumiere.
From who?
Nice.
I mean, like, you actually gave them pictures. They're not official yet, but like,
Yeah, I mean they're not paid art. Like I would love to have
Yeah.
like official art. I just put
Yes.
I just had to have them have tokens that
yes,
I totally give credit to the artists who I use their art for tokens.
yeah, totally, yeah. What's that? I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
I do give credit to all the maps that I use because they're front and center on stream. There's a credits down below where all the maps are given credit. All the map makers. Because
It is just genuinely such a nightmare when it's D&D character art, because trying to trace it back and find who the artist is almost impossible, because most of the time you do a reverse image search and it goes Pinterest.
Yes.
It's like, great.
Yes.
None of them credit who actually made this.
Wow, guys, you don't use original art? Like what?
Well, Emmy, if you would get on it and draw every character in Origin, we would totally do that.
Yeah,
I asked
everyone.
you to draw John as a heads up. I did ask you to draw John.
There, John and Lurk artwork is. I have them doing like the little candy
Oh
challenge.
Jesus!
But I
Oh
have, like,
Jesus
put all of my
Christ!
projects and back to
Oh
the holiday
Jesus
cards,
Christ!
so-
That is equal parts adorable and horrifying for me.
It's
I mean,
fantastic.
technically, I did art for Lark and John.
That's also
Yes,
true.
me.
All right, so
Come on, we do have an official Help Wanted Christmas card.
we do. Before we move on to the Road to Nowhere, that game does not have any official ships. So I will
Yes,
share.
Of course it does.
It does
Of course
have-
it does.
Of course it has, James. I have a
It has non-canon ships, but okay,
Oh.
I should say
There's one
Mark.
cannon ship.
There's one
There's
canon
one.
ship that I can think of
There's two.
immediately.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
there are canon.
Joffrey's sword and one of Kerr's personalities. That is a canon ship.
The other
That's
one,
the
of course,
second
being
one.
Joffrey and Lannis, who are
Yes.
literally married in canon.
Yes.
Bun said new spell for the Dance Macabre is Maximilian's egotistical echo.
Yes.
Egocentric echo, yes.
Egocentric, egotistical. That's probably more accurate. I will say. So I will give my my sanctioned ships in Oridon. On camera. Des and Andal to go old school.
That's like prehistory, though.
Yes, it is literally prehistory. The Monday game has Card and Sparks, and the new one is Bliss and Silver. I'm down for that ship so far.
Yeah.
He's
So
in
far.
trouble. Let's go.
Let's see. For the let's see. A Dark and Hungry God sanctioned ship is obviously Vasir and Luna. That's 3, right? The Arc does not have.
No, not true. Roger and Angus, right?
Yes.
Roger hasn't shown up.
Roger
yet,
hasn't
really,
shown up
in,
yet.
Like, in
Roger hasn't shown up
canon,
yet.
He hasn't shown up on stream, so
Yeah.
it's like
Sure.
it's Schrodinger's pairing.
Yes, Schrodinger's pairing. Arc doesn't have one yet.
Yeah,
Well-
Bowen and Celestana.
If you unless you include Long Paws and Mare, but although I guess you might be able to include Bowie and Celisana as a ship, as an official ship.
Lou / hedonistic excess.
Yeah, yeah. The Wednesday day game does not have one officially. That is sanctioned by me. That is
That's
sanctioned
fair.
by me.
There's no one sanctioned by you.
Oh,
It's like
Uh,
crack
There's
ships.
only one.
The
Sure.
good time.
the PM, the Dance Macabre has 2, which is John and Lark and Susan and Archie are the 2 there.
Officially endorsed. And Lady B and Lord Arthur.
Well, yeah, obviously. There's a 6th one, and now I'm having trouble remembering what the 6th one was. God. I did have a 6th one.
In the dance?
No, among the streams. I don't remember where it was.
Genevieve and Freya.
Definitely Genevieve and Freya. Although Genevieve and Jane were a great story until Freya showed up and Jen just dropped Jane like a bad fucking habit. By the way, get ready to see Jane come back at some point because she's not done. Spoiler. #me. So yeah. Jane is far too important to not show up again.
I'm just hoping she took those Oath of Vengeance Paladin levels like I suggested.
I don't know what you're talking about. There is
she's a woman on a mission from God, and it ain't gonna be pretty.
There is another ship that I have official between two NPCs. I'll let you try and figure out who that is. It's been on screen a couple of times.
There's one in Arc. The woman who owns the Weaver shop and the mayor of Deerbluff.
Not the mayor.
But it's the woman who owns the Weaver shop and
the woman who runs the
tavern.
Weaver shop and the woman who runs the tavern are married.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are married.
See, I remembered things.
But that's not the one. There's one that hasn't revealed itself yet. But
is it Erasker and Lilith?
Yes. No. Lilith likes Angus, but only as far as she can toy with him.
You mean it's not Ekmedenacy?
She likes Declan. She never met Angus.
It's not Ekmedenacy and ayahuasca. What?
In any event, why don't I let you guys move on to the road to nowhere, and I will just be here for you to pick my brain.
Oh, wait. Real important question, Mark. What day is it in the Dark and Hungry Guard?
Hold on. Sorry, I had an echo for a second. Go ahead.
What is the date in the Dark and Hungry God game? And what is the date in the Help Wanted game? It's like, what, the second of...
You can't tell me what those are? I know you can tell me what those are.
So it's like
because
the
you're
second,
far more obsessed with my setting than I am.
It's the second day of, like, Septon in Dark and Hungry God right now, if I remember correctly. But Help Wanted, I have literally no context what day it is for them.
I will go through all of them. A Company of Fools is like Hexen
the 30th.
About the 30th.
Oh shit! So I thought they were like the 34th or the 32nd.
No,
so they're even further back than I thought. Arc is the 4th of Septon, or no, the 2nd of Septon.
Arc, Dark and Hungry God, Arc, and Help Wanted are all on Septon the 2nd. Yes, they are all on Septon the 2nd. Help Wanted as well. Okay.
The dance macabre is technically the 19th of Septon at this point.
Because
the 18th was the night before.
It will be the 20th. It was the morning after scene takes place on the 20th.
Okay, so I thought it was the 18th was the night we were going to fight the werewolves.
The 19th was the night, the first night of the full moon.
Okay.
And
then the Road to Nowhere is on like the 4th. They're a couple days ahead of
the Road to Nowhere is on the 7th.
Okay.
So
for all those people in the fucking dance private group chat, I fucking told you so.
What?
I was within a couple days. They asked me what the timeline was in Oregon right now, and I gave them within a few day window what every single one of the groups was in.
I will tell you what, Pat. At the start of last week's Saturday game, it started on the 5th of Septon, and when the combat takes place in the game, the events that actually take place in the game are after a couple of days of travel, which is the 7th. So yes, you are far more obsessed than I am, because if you ask me straight up what day what game is in, I would legitimately have to grab my notes and look it up.
So people in 2020
I'm not... On you go, no.
I was saying, people in 2020 can't keep track of days in real life, and Pat knows the days of every game.
I know the days of every single game in a fictional universe.
And that is incredible.
Yeah, see, I am that anally retentive. I actually want to know the calendar and have it on my desktop so I
Every-
can actually tick things off.
To
I
my
think
understanding,
we
every
used to
single
have the
month
calendar up on the
has-
Discord. I don't think it's there anymore. I
No.
think
Oh,
Extra
well,
Life
I need
took
to.
over
I
it.
need to put the calendar back up. Yes, that's true.
to my
I've
understanding,
been trying
every
to
month has
corner
35
Kim to
days.
do some server maintenance, and it's just he with him being in school, it's a little bit difficult. Go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry.
To my understanding, every calendar month has 35 days. So you
36.
have effectively, is it 36?
Yes,
And it's to make everything kind of work out like evenly.
there are 36 calendar days in every
Yeah.
month, and there are 10 months in the year.
Yeah.
So there are 360 days in Oridan.
Yes.
There are 2 moons, and their lunar cycles are about 2 days apart.
Yes.
So
So what you're implying is that we need to make Sharp-Eyed the Emperor and have him be like Julius Caesar, where he invents 2 months out of whole cloth and names them after himself.
no.
Yes.
I tried to time
Oh.
Pat's yes and my no at the same time. I think it worked.
So the other thing about it is it's a good frame of mind to keep in mind that with respect to the games, it is 1826, which is about 200 years after the Valkyrian Empire, which means like
Yeah.
is it 400 or 200?
No. Okay. So
70.
timeline. There was a
No, the start of the Valkyrian Empire.
the Valkyrian Empire started
About 1,000.
almost 1,000 years ago.
Okay.
Okay. So 2,000 years ago, big cataclysmic event gets rid of all the dragons. There's a time of there's about 1,000 years of wilderness where it's mostly tribal native peoples, the Awatha and the
Horrid. Yeah.
a lot of warring tribes and a lot of times of peace between the tribes. And during that time, the elves kind of came to prominence as the fathers of civilization in Oridan. They taught people how to have cities and create laws and commerce and things like that. Like they are the
And Piper and Oscar were very instrumental in stroking many of the peace deals with their declaration of be excellent to each other.
Yes, it's absolutely true.
Of course.
After that, sometime during that time, Eric Valkyrian came to power in Geneva, founded the city of Geneva, became king of Geneva, decided that wasn't enough for him, and started conquering all of Oridan, including all of the other cities that had begun to spring up, and united all of Oridan under one banner of the Valkyrian Empire, and that happened around 1,000 years ago, 1,900 years ago. About 400 years ago is when Enan Volkmar almost destroyed the Empire with his forces of undead, including flying winged beasts that his Death Knights could ride upon and help him conquer all of Oridan. And it was only through the combined might of the 7 legions and Merwin that they were able to destroy Enan Volkmar. There is a point prior to that. A lot of things happened in those 1,000 years, but that is probably the one that is one of the ones that is most impacting the current time period. He is the most powerful necromancer in known memory, and so that happened about 400 years ago, and then about 70, I think it's about 70 years ago. I don't know why I'm saying I think I have
about 70 years ago, you get Castifer III, who's the last emperor of the Valkyrian Empire.
He dies.
He dies without an heir. There's then about 40 years of war before the tentative peace that's now been around for about the past 30 years.
Correct.
Which was essentially just constant war. So, like, if you're playing a character of a longer-lived race, it's theoretically possible you have lived through that.
Yep.
So that's a really interesting thing to try to incorporate into your backstory.
Yes. I can. So, 2,000 years ago, the Draconic dynasties and the Long Exile happened, at about like 0 in the timeline, Thalriar enters Oregon through the Feywild after the Cataclysm. That's the Age of Wilderness. And then 1,000 years ago, Eric Valkyrian's reign began. There was the call to expansion about 10 years after that. About 10 years after that was the forming of the Seven Legions. And then about 1248. In 1248, the Warforged were officially decommissioned in Oregon, and the Eagle Legion was shut down. In 1414, the War of the Codex Mortem took place. In 1763 is when the King's War began. That's when the last Karstofer died. In 1795, there was the Treaty of Drayen that was signed, which brought an end to the King's War. And then in 1809, Duchess Lorena Browen dies in childbirth in 1809. In 1811, Lord Stephen Henry Alt passes away, the founder of the Dance Macabre. In 1815, the Great Orc Incursion occurred in Oregon, which is when the Phoenix Legion helped to push back the orcs by uniting all of the cities against the orc tribes, and then the Phoenix Legion spent 10 years in the desert after that. In 1815, the HMS Daring Grace also launched, which is the only airship in Oregon, and it launched out of Geneva for the first time.
Hey, whoa. Give Pippin time, okay?
Pippin will invent an airship that doesn't immediately set on fire.
Yes. 1816.
Or it's always on fire, one or the other.
1816 is officially when the last legion is lost, which is the Phoenix Legion. Everyone thinks they are destroyed at that point. They are declared a loss. 1823 is the death of Queen Alora, Queen Evelyn's mother. Yes. 1823 is also when Queen Evelyn is coronated. In 1824, Anchor is founded. 1825, King Bolivar is assassinated in Grovair. And in 1826, the Phoenix Legion returns from the desert, essentially marking the start of all of the campaigns. And that is the current timeline that I have written out for Oregon.
I have to ask, Mark. This might be a bit unrelated.
Sure.
Who's your best or favorite NPC? Like the one you put a lot of time.
Into? That's hard to answer, and I will tell you why. Because most of my NPCs start off as a name and a one-sentence description, and then who they are is created on screen. When you see me like being that character is crafted at the table. And a lot of times, the amount of interest that the players invest in a particular NPC is what drives the expansion of that PC's info. That being said, there are several NPCs in Oregon that I've used in other campaigns at my table. Lilith, Trust, Alorian, I've used all of them at my tables. And there are some that I have... There's some that I had put a little bit more effort to because, well, all of Anchor I have used as a starting point for campaigns at the table. So I knew at least a little bit about, Gerd and Mayor LeBeau and Jane. They have come out before.
Here's the question: Did the Road to Nowhere crew ever visit the lighthouse and meet the lighthouse keeper? Because I've read through the document a couple of times on the Patreon, and it's like, there's this guy we never met.
Yeah, you guys never had any interest in going to the lighthouse, so I just never brought him in. Again, your choices sculpt what NPCs are important and what NPCs aren't. I will tell you guys, I have to go in about 10 minutes. So I don't know if you want to wrap this up, but I have to pick up my wife from work, so I have to leave in about 10 minutes, which is earlier than I had anticipated, but It is what it is. I can
It's
keep.
okay. We will go through Road to Nowhere Blitz style because it is consistently them. We're going this way now. Now we're
Yes.
going this way, and now we're going this way,
Yes.
and eventually Trust showing up and going, "No, you're going this way."
Well, here's what I was going to say. I can leave the stream up when I leave, but I don't know how long I will be gone. So the stream will just be kind of running blank until I get home. Actually, I can probably end it on my phone. But
if push comes to shove, one of us, I'm a mod, I can throw you into the DM channel and nobody can come in and sabotage, so.
that's true. Dark Mist Gaming, thank you for the follow. Is there anything else you want to ask me before I bail?
Yeah, here's a real important question that a lot of people have. Who is going to go stop this Death Knight? Because I think I've seen it come up in about 3 different chats. Because like 3 different groups feel responsible, like they're supposed to be the ones that go deal with it.
The only ones who know that they're there right now are the Saturday Game and is Road to Nowhere and the Dance Macabre.
Right, and it has come up in the dance secret chat whether or not we're supposed to tell the Tuesday group because they're going to Darkhaven. And
That's
my exact comment was, no, fucking make the Saturday Game deal with it. It's their bullshit. It's their fault. If they TPK, it's their fucking problem.
Okay, go through the Saturday Game Blitz style, because then I gotta... actually, I don't think I want to keep this up and running. I'm sorry. If you guys want to come back on with David's computer, you can try that after I leave. But yeah.
Okay, so they were in the town of Renault.
Mhm.
Everyone got drunk.
Yep.
In the next morning, Vargan had gone to the temple and checked through like the town's archives, learned a little bit more context about the Eagle Legion, but not really found anything specifically about the map that he'd found that was showing a possible way that they could travel across Oridon very, very quickly that was directing them towards Coriel Forest. So Asgir, who was a half-orc caravan guard that knew Calith from their time having protected caravans together, said, hey, I can get you in with some of the local caravan guards so you can start heading south with them and maybe earn a little bit of money while you're on your way. They met a woman named Alice who was leading a caravan of food to Reddenby Fortress because she knew that there was a drought in the region and so she could sell the food for a pretty substantial profit. They stopped off on the road in Richfort along the way, got a bit of context on what's been happening in the Help Wanted game because that's initially where they started out. They got to meet Priestess Orica. They got a bit of context on some miners who went into the mines and went crazy and then died in a fire. I think it was Joffrey managed to use a tongue spell to translate the mad ramblings that the people were like relaying. Like this is mostly what they were saying to equate to the Books of Madness have been opened. So that seems like they might be getting hints about the overall problem with the Demon Lords that's going on. Kerr used Sending to contact Century and Kolok for Priestess Orica. Then he used Create Food and Water and praised the Many Voice God, and she kicked him out of town, saying, like, don't preach heresy in my town again, motherfucker. So they, Joffrey paid 500 gold out of the gold they took from the tomb to pay Alice for her food supplies to leave it in the town of Richfort because they desperately needed the food when there was concern that if she took it all the way to Reddenby Fortress, the army would just confiscate it from her and she wouldn't see a penny for the work that she'd done. Traveling south, Joffrey, scouting ahead of the group, found some hobgoblins had set up a toll road, were trying to confiscate a wagon load of weapons. He decided that he was going to start a fight with them before letting the rest of the party catch up, so they had to use Dimension Door and telekinetic flinging, and Corin just hoofing it to get there in time to cut down some hobgoblins. Some people died. They met one woman who'd survived the attack. Corin decided he was going to go with her to take the confiscated goods back to Richfort, where they could be of use. And Trust showed up and established to the group, like, hey, Calith, Corin, I know you know Ander Brightwood. He works with our organization, and we think that you guys could probably be helpful. And so it's basically just Trust showing up to be like, will you guys pick a direction, please? Will you actually just get something done? Because you keep saying, we're chasing after the Death Knight. It's like, well, you're going the wrong way.
I think 3 things that I loved in that stream was the elk, Kerr and his margaritas, and Trust. Those are the 3 big things that I think came out of the last stream that I was just dying.
Trust in his handy dandy pocket dimension.
It's not his pocket dimension. He's just the butler.
Excuse me. Trust and his lift Lyft service.
Trust is not just a taxi, goddammit.
What groups all know trust? Is it
The Tuesday group and the Saturday group no trust.
And the Wednesday game.
The Wednesday
we have no
game
trust.
saw Trust for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Trust dropped the Tuesday game off at Tyminster Court and basically said, "Have fun, don't mess with the Horned Order, I'll see you when you're done," and closed the door. That was about all the dance saw of Trust.
Basically,
I
we
got-
saved the town of Anchor.
defending.
Trust showed up to offer us a job. They let out a death knight. Trust showed up to say, like, now you have to clean up your mess.
Yes, that is correct.
Mark, I gotta say, during the yesterday's stream, when you had the Horned Order show up, I don't know if you saw my reaction.
I did.
Oh, I've got some
Awesome.
headcanon. I gotta bring this up. Since the Horned Order has come up in a couple different games at this point. So the dance knows that one noble that was supposedly out hunting werewolves, but is not a member of the dance that we're sure of. And then we see a bunch of Horned Order people just fucking executing werewolves in the street. It's like, I wonder what he's been up to.
I'm so glad there are people who put 2 and 2 together for me.
Yeah.
If we could have time to just run down the ships in the Road to
Yes.
Nowhere game.
Okay, so the canon one is Joffrey and the King of Shade. And then the non-canon ones
That's-
is Kerr and
That's the 6th one that I couldn't remember. Thank you.
then it's Kerr and Caleb, Jen and Freya, Jane and Jane, Ander and Lena, Joffrey, Spack Weapon and Snaps, and Corin, Bornala, the Draw Commander, and Sophos and Philus.
Oh, I have to talk to Justin. Uh-oh. About snaps.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh.
Yes. There are secrets about snaps. There are so many secrets about Kerr. I cannot wait to have the spotlight on Kerr for a little while, because Kerr has some shit going on.
So what happens when you put an extra dimensional space in another extra dimensional space? Because is Snaps just secretly a bag of holding for all of Kerr's horrible ideas?
No. Oh,
Are
man.
we sure?
Yeah, we're sure.
Are we
sure.
really sure?
Yes.
Okay, but that is literally the last thing we need. It's for us to like try to contact Trust, and he's like, "I'm stuck on the astral plane. I went and saw Caliph, and us just being like, what is it with those guys?"
Car broke down. I'm stuck on the astral plane.
Michael's
I
not
thought you
there
were a
anymore, and
taxi
things are still getting fucked up. What is going on?
Then you could just backsass him with, "I thought you were in a taxi service." Like,
one of the things though is one of the things I've wanted to do is have the Knights of the Golden Dragon not just be this amalgamous thing that the Tuesday group is a part of, where it's like they don't ever see or get anything except for taxi service out of being Knights of the Golden Dragon. I mean, they have the cool secret decoder rings, right? But like that's why having Ander and Lana show up for the Aboleth fight was a great moment to show, hey, there are other knights who are active in the world doing things. It's not just you guys. And so having Trust come out to like say to Caliph, "Oh, Ander and Lana spoke highly of you, so I came looking for you," right? Like that they're active in the world at large, and you might see more of that because one of the things that has come up outside of above game about them is like, if Elorian's so powerful that he has this extra planar dimension, like why isn't he just fixing things himself? And there are answers to that question. But the other question that comes up is like, if they're this secret society of knights devoted to Elorian, like where are all of they? And so I think answering a little bit of that is going to come up. And you guys going to Ravenreach to be like, you guys calling up Trust and being like, hey, we can go get the parts of the staff that we need, but also Ravenreach needs help. This is a place where the knights need to be. And then showing up is very much what the knights are supposed to do, right? Like, show up in a time of crisis. You guys asked, like, why are we the ones to always go and help everybody? And it's like, you are part of a secret society that's whole purpose is to protect Oridon. Like that.
My question wasn't why do we always have to be the ones that help? It's why do we always end up in the sewer?
Oh, that's true. Yes. Every time you go help another party, you end up in the sewer. I gotta just send you to a place that's only sewers. Like
The elemental plane of sewers. It's all pipes.
Yeah, Mike, you're muted, sir. Mike, you're muted.
I'm just thinking that if you join us when we go back, we'll be in the sewer again. So come and join us.
That's right. You guys have plans of going underneath Reddenburg Fortress to sneak around down there. So yeah, I will definitely have the Tuesday group join you for your expedition into the sewers. Guys, I gotta go.
You're good.
Okay, thank you for hosting the second half of this stream, and
Absolutely.
thank you everybody for being on to cover it, and thank you everybody who's been watching out there in the chat.
Yeah, thanks everyone.